Okay, so you ever walk into a room and just completely blank on why you're even there?
Oh, happens all the time.
Uh,
It's a universal feeling, right? So frustrating.
totally. Or like you meet someone, you know their name, but it's just gone
I
right
mean,
time of
exactly. It's
reveal.
almost comical sometimes. But what if there was a guide, maybe something a bit different, that didn't just help with those moments, but made the whole process, well, actually interesting?
Different how, like not just another memory trick book.
Yeah, definitely not just another tricks book. And that's actually what we're diving into today.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What is it?
It's called Memory Training Manual, the official field guide to memorization from Detective 369.
Wait, Detective 369? Seriously.
Seriously, that part alone kind of grabs you, doesn't it?
It really does. It sounds fun, which isn't a word I usually associate with memory training.
Exactly. And that's our mission for this deep dive, to unpack how this field guide flips the script. It aims to turn what could be, let's face it, a pretty dry subject
Hmm.
into this engaging investigation, an investigation into your own mind.
Okay, so that detective noir style isn't just a title, it's woven into the whole approach.
Oh, absolutely. It's central. The book frames everything like you're the detective's apprentice. Memory training isn't homework, it's cracking a case.
So information becomes what? Evidence.
Exactly. Evidence, clues.
Hmm.
You're actively solving the mystery of how to remember things better. It makes learning feel active, not passive.
I could see how that would be way more compelling than just, staring at
Oh,
flashcards.
it really is. And the effectiveness of this narrative choice is, well, it's pretty profound, actually.
How so?
It makes the core memory principles stickier, It
Yeah.
builds this sense of fun intrigue.
Yeah.
It directly fights that feeling of drudgery you often get.
Right.
And it's not just fluff. It's actually capping into how our brains work best through stories, through engagement. It's almost like a scientifically sound way to make learning enjoyable.
That makes sense. You're turning these personal memory struggles, things that usually just frustrate you, into a kind of personal case file, a mystery you get to solve about yourself. That's inherently motivating, isn't it?
Precisely. It changes the whole dynamic. It's not about fixing a flaw, it's about honing a skill, like detective learning deduction.
So, does the book explain why this works? Like the psychology behind using a story to learn?
It does, yeah. Detective 369 weaves that in. By making abstract ideas concrete and vivid like clues in a case, your brain just latches onto them more easily.
Because our brains like stories and places.
Exactly. We're wired for narrative and spatial reasoning, so the fun isn't a distraction. It actually powers the learning process.
Okay, so to start this investigation, where does Detective 369 begin? What's the first step?
He starts with understanding the architecture of your mind, the different types of memory systems you're working with.
Right, not just one big memory blob.
Not at all. Think of it like different tools in your detective kit. First, there's sensory memory. That's like the initial fleeting glimpse at a crime scene.
Super brief.
Yeah, like the flash of a face in a window, gone in a second. Then you've got short-term memory, which is often called working memory.
Okay.
That's the detective's mental notepad. It's where you actively juggle information for immediate tasks, like keeping track of clues you just found.
Or remembering that phone number just long enough to actually dial it.
Exactly that kind of thing. It's active, but limited.
Gotcha.
And then there's the big one, long-term memory. This is the mind's vast archive.
Where hopefully everything gets filed properly.
That's what the training helps with. And this archive has different sections. There's explicit or declarative memory.
Stuff you consciously know.
Right. Your witness testimony. Facts. Events you can deliberately recall. This includes episodic memory.
Your personal experiences.
Your mental autobiography, like detailed case reports of things that happened to you. And semantic memory.
General knowledge.
Yep, your internal reference library. Facts stripped of context, like knowing capitals or historical dates.
Okay, explicit. Things I can state. What's the other kind?
That's implicit or non-declarative memory. This is fascinating stuff, the shadow evidence.
Shadow evidence. Sounds mysterious.
It kind of is. It influences your behavior without you consciously thinking about it, like an undercover agent in your mind.
So like habits, skills.
Exactly. Procedural memory falls under this motor skills,
Ah, yeah.
habits that become second nature. Riding a bike, typing, you just do it.
You don't think about the individual muscle movements.
Right. And things like priming and conditioning are in here too. Those unconscious influences shaping how you perceive things.
Wow. Okay, seeing it laid out like that?
Yeah.
Understanding these different filing systems must be absolutely key for you, the listener, if you want to choose the right memory strategy.
It's fundamental. You can't just use one brute force method for everything. You need targeted approaches.
And the book guides you on that.
Definitely. And then comes what the book calls the reconstruction revelation. This is huge.
Okay.
Memory isn't like a recording device. It doesn't just play back perfectly.
Right, I've heard that. It's more like putting pieces back together.
Exactly. It's reconstructive.
Yeah.
Every single time you remember something, you're rebuilding it. And this reconstruction is shaped by all sorts of things, associations, your current mood, the context.
Which sounds kind of unreliable, honestly.
It can seem that way,
Mm.
but Detective 369 turns that on its head. Instead of lamenting imperfections, he shows you how to work with this reconstructive nature.
How?
By consciously using techniques to strengthen the important parts of the reconstruction, making the memory more robust and reliable each time you rebuild it. It's about actively shaping the memory.
So the takeaway is, my memory isn't faulty, it just needs the right training on how to rebuild things properly.
That's the core message. It was never broken, just untrained. This manual provides that training.
Okay, so once you get the layout of the mind, the different memory types, what are the foundational techniques, the core principles Detective 369 swears by?
Right, these are the building blocks. The first major one is association. Our brains are naturally wired to notice and remember things that are connected, especially if the connection is unusual or striking.
Making things memorable by linking them.
Exactly. And Detective 369 has his 4 rules of mental evidence to make associations powerful. You need to make your mental images vivid.
Okay, what are the rules?
1. Proportion distortion. Make things ridiculously large or small. Imagine a milk carton as tall as a skyscraper.
Okay, exaggeration.
2. Numerical exaggeration. Instead of 1 or 2 things, imagine thousands. An avalanche of grapes.
Got it. Lots of them.
3. Violent action. Not necessarily gory, but dynamic, energetic. Impossible physics helps. A hammer smashing through those grapes with incredible force.
Action makes it stick.
And 4. Substitution and transformation. Let objects morph into something related but unexpected. That giant milk carton starts mooing musically, maybe turning into a cow.
Huh, okay, those sound weird. But I guess that's the point.
That is absolutely the point. The more unusual, exaggerated, and active the image, the more your brain pays attention and locks it in.
Can you give an example of using these together?
Sure. Remembering planets in order. Imagine Mercury, like liquid silver, flowing onto Venus. Venus then hurls Earth with massive force. Earth cracks open, revealing Mars. Mars spears Jupiter. Jupiter explodes, creating Saturn's rings. Saturn tosses a ring to Uranus. Maybe picture a space moose for Uranus for extra weirdness.
A space moose? Okay.
And the moose kicks a giant wave that Neptune surfs. See? It's bizarre, full of action and weird transformations. Much stickier than just repeating names.
Definitely more memorable than my very educated mother.
Yeah, okay.
I see that.
Or for history, like remembering Pearl Harbor, 1941. Using the major system, which we'll get to, 41 could become rat. The book suggests imagine a massive rat gnawing through important military papers. Paper, rat, 1941. It connects the date to a strong symbolic image.
Okay, association is key. What's next?
Chunking. This is about breaking down large amounts of information into smaller, more meaningful groups or chunks.
Like phone numbers, we naturally chunk those.
Exactly. Our working memory handles chunks better than long strings of individual items. The book uses the Bill of Rights as an example. Instead of 10 separate things, group them. Amendments 1 through 3 are about fundamental freedoms. Chunking makes complex info manageable.
Makes sense. Less cognitive load. What else?
Then there's a powerful duo, active recall and spaced repetition.
I think I know these. Testing yourself right.
Yes, but Detective 369 frames active recall as the interrogation method. You're not just passively reviewing notes, you're actively interrogating your memory. Force yourself to retrieve the information.
And the effort helps.
Immensely. The struggle is the point, as the book says. That effort of retrieval strengthens the memory trace far more than just rereading.
Okay, and spaced repetition.
That's the cold case protocol. You revisit the information, you test yourself on it at increasing intervals. Just when you're about to forget, you bring it back.
Interrupting the forgetting curve.
Precisely. Review after maybe a day, then 3 days, then a week, 2 weeks, and so on. This systematic spacing makes memories incredibly durable.
That sounds much smarter than cramming.
Way smarter. And the book mentions tools like the Anki app, a sort of digital partner that automates this spaced repetition scheduling for you.
So these principles association, chunking, active recall, spaced repetition, they're like the detective's fundamental skills.
Exactly. They're the battle-tested techniques that transform memorization from a chore into, well, an art form almost.
Hmm.
It's about working smarter with your brain's natural inclinations.
Right, instead of fighting against them. I can definitely see how that changes things. Okay, so those are the core principles. Does the book offer more advanced tools, like for bigger tasks?
Oh, yes. Once you have the foundation, Detective 369 introduces some really powerful systems. The big one is the method of Loci, often called the memory palace.
Ah, the Sherlock Holmes technique.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
He calls it the crown jewel of memory techniques. You use a familiar location, your house, your walk to work, anything you know spatially well.
Yeah.
And you mentally place the things you want to remember at specific points along that route or in that location. You create vivid images for each item and place them.
So you're using your spatial memory, which is naturally strong.
Exactly. Your brain has these amazing place cells designed for navigation. The memory palace leverages that. You can create this permanent headquarters in your mind to store almost anything.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, say you need to memorize the 12 cranial nerves for an anatomy exam. You'd walk through your house mentally. At the front door, you place a crazy image for nerve 1. In the hallway, another for nerve 2. In the kitchen, nerve 3. And so on. To recall them, you just mentally walk the route.
That sounds incredibly powerful.
And reusable, right?
Totally reusable and expandable. Then there's the major system, which is specifically designed for remembering numbers.
Numbers are tough. How does that work?
It's clever. You convert digits, 0 through 9, into specific consonant sounds.
Sounds into, for example, 1 is T or D, 1 downstroke. 2 is N, 2 downstrokes. 3 is M, 3 downstrokes. 4 is R, think 4. 5 is L, hold up, fly fingers, thumb makes an L. 6 is J, she, soft G sounds. 7 is K or hard G. 8 is F or V. 9 is P or B. And 0 is S or Z.
Whoa, okay, that's a system to learn in itself.
It takes a little practice, but once you have it, it's amazing. You turn numbers into words by adding vowels. So the number 32 becomes MN. Add vowels. You get man or moon or menu.
Ah, and images are easier to remember than abstract numbers.
Much easier. So
Okay.
47 could be RK, making rock. You can link these images together to remember long sequences, pins, phone numbers, historical dates, even complex financial data like KPIs.
Okay, I can see the potential there. What else is in the toolkit?
There's the alphabet peg system. This gives you an AZ evidence archive.
Peg system, like hanging information on pegs.
Sort of. You create a standard concrete image for each letter of the alphabet. A is apple, B is bee, C is cat, D is dog, and so on. You memorize this list firmly.
Okay, a fixed image for each letter. Then what?
Then when you have a list to remember, you associate the first item with your apple image, the second with your bee image, the third with cat. It gives you ordered hooks to hang information on.
Good for remembering lists in order or maybe categories?
Exactly, like the body systems. Attach the circulatory system to your C image, maybe imagining your cat with glowing red veins. It helps organize information alphabetically in your mind.
Clever. Any more systems?
One more major one mentioned is the 100 peg system. This kind of combines the major system and peg concepts.
Okay, scaling up.
Yeah, you use the major system to create standard images for every number from 00 to 99. So ILO1 might be suit, ST, O2 might be sun, SN, O3 sumo, SM, all the way to 99 puppy, PP.
So you pre-memorize 100 images linked to numbers.
Right. It takes effort up front, but then you have this incredibly powerful system for instantly encoding large amounts of numbered or sequential information, anatomy tables, historical timelines, corporate data.
Wow, these aren't just simple tricks, they're like mental frameworks.
That's a great way to put it. And the book stresses they aren't rigid rules. They're flexible, scalable tools. You can customize them, combine them, build a personal memory system that fits your mind and your goals.
Okay, this sounds really comprehensive, but let's get practical. Who is this actually for? Who's going to pick up memory training manual and really get something out of it?
Well, the book lays out a pretty broad range of people who can benefit, which I think speaks to how fundamental memory is.
Like who?
First, obviously, students.
Yeah.
Anyone facing exams, trying to absorb huge amounts of information. These techniques can be a lifesaver, turning rote memorization into something active and, dare I say, fun.
I wish I'd had this in college. Okay, who else?
Professionals. Think about business, leadership roles. Remembering names and faces at networking events, recalling key figures for a presentation, keeping track of project details. It gives you a real competitive edge.
Yeah, being the person who remembers names is definitely an advantage.
Absolutely. And then lifelong learners. Anyone who just wants to keep their mind sharp, learn a new language, dive into a new hobby like art history, or just stop feeling frustrated by forgetting things. It empowers you to keep learning effectively throughout your life.
Can you give some specific examples, maybe?
Sure, the book might talk about someone like Marcus, a financial analyst. Instead of drowning in spreadsheets, he uses the major system and association to turn key performance indicators, those dry KPIs, into vivid mental images he can recall instantly in meetings.
Okay, that's tangible.
Or Elena, maybe she's retired and learning Italian. She could use a memory palace based on a trip to Rome to anchor vocabulary, associating Italian words with specific locations and images she experienced there.
Making it personal and spatial.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or tackling Mandarin Chinese, using the major system to link the notoriously difficult tones to number images, or using PEG systems to create a mental gallery for learning art history movements and artists. The applications are really varied.
And like we said, because of that whole detective noir vibe,
Right.
reading the book, learning these systems, it doesn't feel like hitting the textbooks. It feels more like you're on an adventure, solving this cool mystery.
That's the magic of it. It genuinely transforms the learning experience.
Yeah.
And perhaps the most powerful idea, the one that really resonates, is that core message we touched on earlier.
That your memory isn't broken.
Exactly. Your memory was never broken. It was simply untrained. This manual provides that systematic training, helping you build organized knowledge structures in your mind. The result isn't just better recall, it's this boost in intellectual confidence.
That's a really empowering perspective. Okay, so wrapping this up then. Memory Training Manual. The official field guide to memorization from Detective 369 sounds like, well, a uniquely effective and crucially fun guide.
It really is. It feels like a shortcut almost to
Yeah.
unlocking potential in your memory that you probably didn't even know you had.
A shortcut built on solid techniques, just presented engagingly.
Precisely. So my takeaway,
Mhm.
if you're ready to seriously upgrade your memory, but you want to actually enjoy the process, you need to get this book. Honestly, it feels like one of those foundational toolkits. Skills for life.
Yeah.
The investigation into your own mind really does start here.
Okay, strong recommendation.
Yeah.
So the full title again is Memory Training Manual, the official field guide to memorization from Detective 369.
That's the one.
And you can find it right now on Amazon. It's available in both Kindle and paperback formats. And of course, we'll put a link to purchase the book on Amazon right there in the description below this deep dive. And I guess there's only one way to end this, right? As Detective 369 would say. Host speaker and expert speaker. Case closed. But maybe one last thought for you to ponder as you consider starting your own memory investigation. Mastering these techniques, it's clearly about more than just remembering shopping lists or exam answers. Think about what happens when you truly trust your mind's ability to hold and connect information. You're not just improving recall, you're fundamentally changing how you learn, how you solve problems. You're building cognitive flexibility, the ability to adapt, to see new connections, to really evolve your understanding of the world throughout your entire life. What new cases could you crack with a mind like that?